What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are in a different car.
Yeah, we're actually in a, I think it's a 2020
Honda Civic Type R.
Yeah.
This thing's pretty cool. The seats are pretty tight.
Yeah,
As a big guy, I'm widening out these bolsters because I don't know if you guys see that, but my man boobs are in the way. So, car looks good. So this is our cousin's car. Whoa.
Wow.
And we're just giving it a little quick review. We were just hanging out, so we figured we'd do something with this.
Yeah, this I'm gonna be honest. These cars drive surprisingly. The rumors of this car are pretty accurate. The car drives really good. It's nice and smooth. It gives you that stock feel, but when you want to accelerate, that was we're in R plus mode right now, or plus R mode. Car feels really good. Gears aren't too short, but they're actually pretty nice. Drives really, it feels similar to when I've been in the Type Rs, the Integra Type Rs, but with more comfort to it as well. Actually, this is really nice to be honest. Car has its power.
Yeah, we're both used to like much older cars. I think the newest sports car I've had has probably been like 1998. Not even kidding. You probably had the RSX, which was probably like an
05.
05, yeah.
It is comparable to the RSX. The shifter is very it actually it's like very catchy, so you could feel it. You feel when it's in gear, and it's enjoyable. It has once you put it in R plus mode, you'll be able to see it has the rev line matchup. I can't do anything because we're in residential areas. It'll start marking like it'll be your shift light. Car handles really good. We're just doing a quick drive in residential. I mean, I've seen this car. They sound like inside the car. They actually sound really good. They actually sound really good. Like it's I'm actually impressed, to be honest. I'd say that this is equivalent to like a RSX Type S on steroids, with a much more comfort-like feeling. You could definitely tell the difference between. I've driven the Civics, the regular Civics, and it's night and day. This car definitely has the get up and go when you want it, and you could also always turn it down to sport, comfort mode, whatever you prefer.
So you switch it's right here.
Yeah.
That's the badge number. Our cousin was telling us that these cars are badged, I think, globally. So this is R21486. So it's like, I don't know how he explained it, but basically it's, I don't know if it's number 21,486. Oh, it can't be 2021. So yeah, I guess it is that. But I mean, I know he was saying that in the States it's limited. I think it's like 500 or 1,500 per year. Don't quote us on that fact. But it's very much limited. I think overseas it's just they're just making it like a regular production vehicle. Overall, like, interior is pretty nice. Has a lot of carbon fox or like fake carbon fiber all over. In a minute we're gonna do a little cinematics of the whole exterior of the car. Yeah. You know, the inside as well. And we'll go over it all. But overall, I kind of like it a lot. As a newer car, never been in something like this, so yeah. It definitely feels nice. Definitely like tight seats for bigger guys like us. I'm
actually pretty comfortable though, because I am big, but I'm not that big.
Let me see what the bolster's doing right now. I don't know. See, he's going around the bolster. Like, I think my back is kind of on the bolster, where they're like, instead of hugging me, I'm like pushing up on it. So on the way back, can I drive it?
Yeah, I don't hug.
Cool. So then I can form my own opinions.
Yeah, I really like it. I feel like the car drives really well. When you want it to get up and go, and when you want it to do certain things, it'll do it. But it's a great daily, because you can have it in regular comfort mode, and look how it was actually a lot stiffer when we put it in R plus mode. It was
because he did say it has an adaptive suspension.
Yeah.
So basically the shocks adapt to the mode of the vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed. The car, I don't see anything I don't like with the car, to be honest. It is, like I said, I'm comparing this to, they definitely kept up to their I'd say to the expectation, especially with the Integra Type R, this car is very similar to it in a lot of ways.
And it has a
and you can do the brake
for the
hold,
e-brake.
so you shouldn't be stalling out. You don't got to worry about your car rolling out.
This thing is nice for about $40,000 for a brand new one. I think it's fairly priced for exactly what it is. For a car that was basically cut out of production in 2001 to then be brought back all the way back in, I think, 2017.
Well, that was in the U.S. markets.
In the U.S. market, right? So for a car to be cut off the market in 2001 to then come back in 2017, 16 years later, and still have so much of its roots, so much of its original glory, I think Honda killed it, you know?
Yeah.
I think especially now that this is now the third year in production, I think they've actually been able to find, like, kind of perfect some of the little quirks it had. And that's me speaking without driving, you know, just the looks of it. And, you know, when he was driving in the feel of everything, the adaptive suspension, I think is like, it's a pretty good touch to the car, especially because the Type R name is known to be such a track monster and such a track car. I think this car did well for what it is. For a nice comeback, I personally, I would give it, if we were talking about a number system, 1 through 10, I think I would give it, I think I'll say give it a 10. Yeah. I think it meets all expectations. It's a turbo, which is different from the naturally aspirated versions prior to this, and I think it's good. You know, it's very, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, from driving, I'll be honest, I'm surprised. This is the first time I drive one. This is like a complete new experience, and I'm gonna say that the car is everything that I've been told. The car, when you want to just cruise, you have the option of cruise. You don't have that either stiff or soft suspension. You have everything right at a fingertips control. I feel like the car lives up to the Type R expectations, and I think Honda did a great job executing it. The car drives, it has its get up and go. It's very responsive, and it handles very well. I'll agree with you on it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's the new era of what the Integra Type R was in the U.S. market in 2001 and, well, 97 to 2001. And this car lives up to the expectations. Stops on the dime. It handles great, and it has its power behind it. So.
Yeah, it's a very, you know, the one final statement that I would say is that its race aspirations are still there. The bucket seats, you know, the 4-passenger where the rear seats is only for 2, which my cousin said he didn't like. Yeah. But I think, you know, the minor things like that where they were all 4-passenger. Usually they were coupes or hatches, and now they're actually all hatches. Yeah. Now that they're, you know,
in the U.S. market, yes.
Well,
but then you have the FD2. No,
oh, sorry. Yeah, in Japan.
After the EP3, they became 4 doors.
So I think, you know, even that this thing is a hatch, I think it just plays such a good homage to what the Type R name is. And
it's a sporty car. They took a regular Civic and they enhanced it to be able to put down the powers and it has the same. It's like the same thing from an Integra, and that's what I love about it, because it's like when you're switching out, we're getting out of that whole we're working on older cars, and now we're trying to lean towards more getting newer vehicles, and this car would meet I feel like would meet all of our expectations because of that. The car has everything that you would want in your 2001 Integra Type R, but in a modern feel and more obtainable. Because in today's market, we have to be realistic with it. You buying a clean example of a Type R is going to cost you the same, if not more, than buying this car. So,
all right, guys. Now we're gonna drive back to our cousin, and I'm gonna drive it. So I'll give you guys my.
I'm gonna sit down. Like I said, look, like I know he went over it a little bit, but if you guys remember the Integra Type R, the climate control, the shifter bezel, and a couple things were in this carbon fox, and it's the same that we're getting here, just with a modern touch.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice these gauges.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. It has a shift light on it, and it tells you
not only that, but like if you look at like the fuel gauge, you see how anything is all red, but then when it tells you the actual level, it has like a green little bar. I think that's pretty cool.
It's a really race inspired car. I honestly think so.
Yeah, and it has exactly 50,000 miles on. So let me see. Oh wow. Oh, the e-brake is off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just has the hold. Go ahead, take off.
Wow. It's a very non-aggressive clutch. I definitely thought it was gonna be, you know, so I was riding a little bit more than I should have.
It's user friendly. It's
you know, AC. The drone in here I think is perfect for like. I think this is exactly what you do want to hear in a car. I think you don't want it to be obnoxiously loud where you can't hear yourself talk or you can't hold a conversation inside the car. The car handles well. I'm right now driving in sport mode. When I make this turn here, I'll switch it to R mode. And I kind of want to see like what the rebound of the suspension is. I kind of want to feel it for what it is. I like it. I like the looks. I like the feels. I like the sounds. I like it. I think if I were to hop out of my older 90s Hondas and Japanese cars, and I want to get to something newer, I always thought like a M4 or M3 BMW would be my thing, but this is it, you know. Front wheel drive, but it just like he says, it has the pep, all the pep to the step.
Now, you as a Type R owner, as an Integra Type R owner, when you know, you're gonna drive it now, and you tell me what you think, because you have a good basis to, you know, you would want for them to live up to their expectations. It has to be the Type R Plus. It has to be something. It has to have the modern touches, but still have that expectations. Because when you get in a Type R, you know you're in a Type R, right? Handling wise and everything. So,
oh wow. I did downshift and it kind of like rev match itself, which I've heard about that. And I'm still in sport mode. I forgot to switch it over to R plus mode.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, I mean, to be honest, this is probably the most modern sports car I've ever driven, and it's probably gonna sound a little biased, especially coming. Oh, see, it just did it again. It just did that, you know, that little rev match where like it
did it for me too. It's
I didn't hear when you were driving, maybe because I was talking, but wow.
It's very forgiving too. Like it is still an easy car to drive.
Very easy to drive, I always say, like very, very easy. The clutch is super smooth, not aggressive at all, and it just handles very well. You know, give it a little bit of you know, throttle, and it's responsive as possible. You know, it's not like, oh, you seen that?
Yeah.
Woo! I like this a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's took me by surprise, I'd say.
Yeah, like honestly, like I expected like a newer Civic. Our uncle has a Civic Si, which we might do a review on next. Yeah. Screw it, because that's his is a 08, I believe, which I've driven that car specifically. The seats still have a very tight bolster. It holds you in. It's not as tight as this. The suspension, it has a lower end springs.
On stock struts.
On stock struts, but the suspension is very tight. You know, he's taking me on turns very, you know, like decent speeds where like you feel the car is on rails. It doesn't feel like sloppy where, you know, the body's, you know, you have body roll
and all that. Yeah,
none of that. So I think comparing it to something like, that's the only thing I could compare it to. Comparing it to something like that as a modern car, I think it's great. I love the whole R plus downshift rev match thing. I think it's a racer's, you know, dream come true. All that downshifting. I like that it's not obnoxiously loud. I like that we can have a full conversation here without having to yell at the top of our voices. I'm impressed. I'm actually very happy with this car. I'm happy my cousin actually purchased this, coming from an S2000. Very different animal.
Which, yeah, and I drove, he had a very low mile S2000, and I drove that car, and I'm gonna say that honestly, like the S2000 still handles slightly better. I didn't drive this car as much as I drove that car, but the S2000 is still a little sportier. But this gives you that enough, so I would feel comfortable tracking this car. And you know, it's the same thing with the S2000, obviously, but I really like this car. I'm impressed. You could feel the aggression and everything in the
it's definitely
in the suspension.
Yes, and it's definitely an underdog, but I think it backs up. It backs up the bark. Yeah,
because realistically, and something that our cousin brought up to our attention is, you could do simple bolt-ons on this vehicle and make 400 horsepower, which for a front-wheel drive car, it's still the same. It's still that's a lot of power to have on a front-wheel drive car. So
yeah, so I think this is the end of our review. So thank you guys I hope you guys liked it. This is the first time we do something like this, and hopefully we can do more in the future.
Just a reminder to please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and follow us on our social media at All Purpose Builds. Peace.
See you guys next time.